Sony, there was like some news / controversy. An item appeared on an Ubisoft tech support site, which was giving information about the next gen consoles backwards compatibility, and it basically said that PS5 is only going to be backwards compatible with PS4 games. That statement has since been removed from the Ubisoft website. I'm sure after they were contacted by Sony. So why the fuck would you put that on your website now when our machine's not out yet? Why do people need to know?
I think it was probably just hard coded in with the fists that they had to remove for the. It was all one package.
It's not their week over at Ubisoft.
Right.
It's never their week at Ubisoft unless we're looking at the profits.
Well, ever since they cut out grab ass Thursdays, morale has just gone completely downhill.
Anyway, so it sounds like that's probably true, that the PS5 will probably only be backwards compatible with the PS4. If I had to guess, it's not confirmed, obviously.
Is this really a thing?
Do people care? That's what I'm asking. Like, do people really care? Because the Sony executives say, yes, it's a often requested feature, but when we look at the numbers and see like the time spent on people playing with it, those numbers are very low and it doesn't make sense, really.
I mean, there are certain things that I'm, obviously mixed on. I having just played Portal 1 and 2 with my son for the first time and having such a nice time doing that. But I don't know. There's also that part of me that's like, but PlayStation 1 games? Is that really a thing? Like, people are like, oh.
Yeah.
I guess.
PlayStation 1 had a lot of great games.
I'm not saying it didn't have a lot of great games. I'm just saying, is that what are you getting a PlayStation 5? Are you going to spend $400 in November, $500 in November, and the first thing you're going to do with it is go, can't wait to play those old games that I have?
I think it's more of like, I like what Microsoft's doing in that it's creating an ecosystem of like, I know these games are going to carry forward or have a good chance of carrying forward. So it's more likely to like, if I'm going to buy a digital game, I'm going to buy the Xbox version because I'm going to be able to have that going forward.
Yes, that's also different though, because these PS1 games aren't digital.
They are. I bought digital copies of a lot of these on PSP.
PSP, right. I'm just can't wait for the Siphon Filter 35-year collection. It's going to be fantastic.
You have about 10 years to go.
I can wait. Mm-hmm. Very patient.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it would be cool if there was a whole library.
Yes, of course it would.
It would be nice if, yes, like with your...
It would be very good for the business and the industry.
The same way that Nintendo does it. We just talked about how I played Rygar. It's nice that it's just there. I get, that's kind of cool. I'm not knocking that. It's just not my go-to when I'm like, oh, it's, it's not the reason I'm getting a console.
I got to think, though, like Shipwreck says, it creates an ecosystem. It's got to be good business for the console for either Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo.
I mean, Microsoft has already proven that it's good business.
Yeah,
to be able to turn on your console and be like, oh, why do I have, so many games all of a sudden? Oh, because they're, I remember when they first were folding in the backwards compatibility and you turn it on and it would say, oh, you have a game to download. I'm like, what game do I have?
Oh, it's adding your old library from the
But
Xbox
it was
360.
adding those old games into my library. And I'm like, that's cool.
But it makes sense because it's more games they can include with Game Pass. They can, it's just more. This is when people talk about the long tail. That's what what it really refers to, not a length of time. It's about having a store that's full of, basically everything. That's why Amazon's a success. If you have just more old games, it's just more shit for people to buy. It doesn't take up space. It seems like a win-win scenario. So I believe what Sony's saying is true, that when it comes from time to actually spend playing the games, yeah, those older games probably do not, generate that many hours. But people would still probably buy them anyway and not play them.
Right.
I just it can't hurt. It just can't hurt. Like, if you had a virtual Dunkin' Donuts, right? And you could sell 30 kinds of donuts, or for no extra expense for yourself, offer 3,000 types of donuts, you would probably sell 3,000 types of donuts.
It obviously is an extra expense for them, though.
Yeah, the problem is the extra expense for Sony. Right. that they're not willing
Well,
to put
Sony
in.
at this point, there's a they have a hardware problem.
Well, it's not a problem. It's a choice. They have a hardware choice.
Well, they made the problem themselves. They made a choice.
I don't know that they made a problem.
I think choice is the problem.
They locked themselves out of doing something that what Microsoft is doing. They denied themselves
they did, but
an
at
angle.
the same time, Microsoft is locking themselves into something as well.
Sure, I think, but I think it's got to pay off. I feel like it's just
I think both of them will have successful futures.
correct. I agree. Let's move on to what? To Cheapy's stupid PC corner. There's big PC news this week, Wombat. Do you know what it was?
Some card of some sort.
What kind of card? Like be more specific.
A processing card?
Yes, be a little more specific.
A graphics processor? A graphic processor unit? Was that what I'm supposed to call it?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You nailed it.
Thanks.
It's the 3000 series of GPUs, the latest and greatest.
So that's essentially like getting a new console.
The crazy thing is
part of a new console.
Yeah.
right.
Like this is like the main upgrade though. Like this
Correct.
This is the
well,
big.
it depends on if it's either an upgrade or it's part of the whole upgrade. Like because you're gonna need a decent CPU as well.
But for the most part, like my computer, I was going to talk about this anyway, but like my computer, I said I need a new CPU. So like this, if I bought this GPU, it wouldn't help me at all.
Right.
But
you're gonna
now
be buying a whole thing.
I want to wait till I can get the new cards available in a pre-built computer.
Right. So whereas this thing is reasonably priced on its own, you would think.
Correct. They are very reasonably priced, actually, for some
but
reason.
then onty factor in all the rest of the
what
stuff,
is a reasonable
you're
price?
still $2,000 in.
The 3070 is like $450, I believe.
It's
so the
somewhere
same
around
price
there,
as
500,
approximately the
something
same
like that.
price as a new console.
It's under 500, I believe.
Okay, console priced.
But the crazy thing is, like, I haven't read too much about this, but it seems like this is a really big leap, like a really huge leap from the last generation of GPUs. So, like, the 3080 card, which is $700, is 20 times faster than the previous. It's the previous version of that card.
They're $499 and $799. Thank you.
$799 or $699?
$799 according to the chat room.
Okay. 20 times faster than the previous model.
Okay, and what plays in that 20? What does that do? What am I going to see that's so different?
Well, nothing, because it would just be a card that you're holding in your hand because you don't have anything to plug
If I was in your house on your fancy new computer, what would I see?
I would be able to, you'd be able to play. It's really for 4K gaming. I don't have a 4K monitor, and I don't actually believe that 4K is
You don't believe
matter.
in 4K monitoring?
I don't believe that, what am I, like 2 feet here? I don't know like how much difference
I
that's
don't
going to
believe
make.
in Beatles. I
That-
just believe in me.
I just want to be able to play the game and maybe stream it without the computer dying. For me personally, like it's really only Microsoft Flight Simulator that this computer can't handle because it needs CPU action. That's the only thing that has defeated Camp and Kev's Big Mac computer here. Oh, the Whopper. Sorry, not the Big Mac. The Whopper. The Windows 7 Whopper. But yeah, so here's some comment here from Garzilla3. He says, I have a question. Anybody getting one of these 3000 series GPUs and passing on the new consoles, considering more and more titles are being released on PC, and there doesn't seem to be any way the new consoles can compete with these cards. The cards are very powerful. He says, also, these cards are real. They have a price and seem to actually be coming out. The console, who knows? I know, like, for us, I don't think so. But for some people, probably. I think some people who have, like, older PCs see this $500 car option and say, like, wow, this is going to, like, really significantly upgrade my gaming PC. Like, 20 times is a lot. I don't know if you can fathom that. It's a lot. Anyway.
It's a lot more that you're going to be sinking in, though.
Of course, yeah. If you're going to buy a new box with this, it's like you're spending over $2,000 or more.
Yeah, you're you're gonna spend
20.
$2,000.
I'll stick with my one-time purchase box.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Cheapy and I have had these PCs that we've been running for. You've had yours for 8 years or something.
8
like that,
years,
Cheapy?
but I put new graphics cards in them twice.
Oh, twice. Okay.
Twice, yeah.
I've upgraded my graphics card once on mine, and I think I've had mine similar time frame.
I fucked up, and I probably should have just done it once. I tried to do SLI, which was like stupid. You know what SLI is, Wombat?
Nope.
Guess.
I wasn't paying attention.
Wah, wah.
SLI? I have no idea.
It's when you have two of the same graphics card, and you're like doubling up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Double up the graphics cards.
Okay. Is that so you can play the same game on two different monitors?
You can triple them up too. It's just more power, more graphical. It's like plugging in two Xboxes and playing the same game.
It's like eating 3 tacos at the same time.
Not really though. But it does sound good though. I would do that right now.
I could go for good
Yeah.
tacos.
So maybe I'll get a new computer next month. I think
I
that.
could go for. I'd rather
about
get tacos.
Are you getting a new one?
Yeah, I think so. I want to put. Look at this. Hold on.
Oh.
I have this. Okay, look at this thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is that a dildo?
and I have this. Look
So
at these
you have-
flight stick action I have. It's
Yeah.
double
Is
flight.
that a butt plug and a dildo?
I bought this. I don't even know why I bought this. I bought this. I think when Elite Dangerous came out. Elite Dangerous? Is that even?
That's
I
a
don't
game,
even
yes,
know.
that is an actual game. Yeah.
I bought it and like it was like the beta or something, and it was like, and then I don't know what happened. I stopped playing. I just went. It's so big, like you wind up putting it away, and then it just gets dusty, and then you don't want to touch it. But I feel like I already have it, but I can't use it on Microsoft Flight Simulator because it won't really run on this computer.
You feel like you need to spend $2,000 so you can use that.
This I don't know. This computer, the CPU is it's when you have an 8-year-old CPU, even when you start like using browse like Firefox, like puts a significant strain on my CPU. Like I can't be doing too much. Basically, this is what I can do. I can broadcast a podcast,
That's what I do.
and I can broadcast Fall Guys. That's about where I am in terms of the broadcasting, I think. Anyway, whatever. Ty thinks he's going to inherit my old gaming PC if I get a new one. So he's been really pushing it.
Oh, he's been pushing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But it's ridiculous. This PC is bigger than him. It weighs more. It's not bigger, but it's comparable.
Where is he gonna put it?
It's ridiculous.
He's gonna live inside of it.
He could fit inside the case. I'm pretty sure. I think they weigh about the same. Also, in my stupid PC corner, I downloaded and played through the tutorial of Crusader Kings 3, which is a PC game, and it's on Game Pass.
Oh, I
So
didn't realize that.
I thought there was a separate Game Pass for PC, and you had to subscribe to that separately.
No, if you
it's
have
all.
Ultimate,
If you're Ultimate, you have everything.
yes,
I have everything. I knew I should be Ultimate. I knew I made a good choice. That was one of my good life choices when I jacked up the thing and got Ultimate for like 3 years, or you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so this game is really ambitious. It's trying to like go with the whole like Game of Thrones vibe, where like you're a family of generations of families, and you're building a kingdom, and all this intrigue happens, and it's like there's stress, and the characters have problems, and if they get too stressed out, they drink, and it's done in a way that like I saw a review on IGN, got a 10 out of 10 on IGN, and the guy was like, "It's a masterpiece. The way that the characters develop a natural story, it's just like amazing." So I was like, fuck, I gotta download this. But the tutorial, it's so short, and this game is so involved. Like it's just like you could do anything in this game. Tutorial just drops you off. It's like, okay, like it sort of teaches you like a few basic things. Then it's like, okay, declare war on this guy, and let's see how it goes. You do it, and they start fighting, and you're like, I don't even know. And then there's no more tutorial. Like there's no more, not telling me anything. And I don't know what to do.
So this is a strategy game.
It's a strategy game, but there's like a story, and it's getting great reviews because of the way that it works the story, and from the it's character-driven story. And like the one review said, he was like, when his son died in the game, he was like heartbroken, and like it made me like want to check it out. Like you're in the throne room, and like people show up. But like, it's so confusing, and the tutorial just drops you off. Like, I didn't know what to do, and all these things start happening. Like, oh, but your wife is pregnant, and like, what are you gonna name? I'm like, oh, I don't. You want
Congratulations.
Thank you. Your child needs a ward. Like, I don't know anything. You didn't tell me about any of these things. I don't think I can play it anymore because I don't know what to do. But it seemed cool. And then the IGN review, like the guy. Maybe don't have the guy who literally played 1,000 hours of Crusader Kings 2 do the video review of the game. It's like kind of skews the review. It's like somebody like me who's never played one of these games before. Like, it's not very accessible. When when you hear something called a masterpiece, you're like, I should play this no matter what. Like, don't you think?
I guess. But then again, on the flip side of that, you didn't pay anything, so who cares?
I paid with my time. I kept crashing.
Did you try playing it with your flight stick?
No, there's no controller. I don't know. I wish there was more tutorial or something. It seemed cool though.